Hey everyone, welcome to the PCS-Proof Podcast, where we're covering the vital things you need to know to thrive in every season of military life. I'm your host and milspouse fitness expert, Grace Barnick-Damazo, and I encourage you to join me each week as we dive deep into topics like fitness, wellness, and entrepreneurship as a military spouse so that you can maintain your own sense of identity and purpose, conquering every transition with strength and resilience. As we journey together, you can expect uplifting conversations and insights. We'll share some laughs, and you can count on me to keep it real so that together we can become truly PCS-proof. Now let's get into it. Hey everyone, welcome back to the PCS-Proof Podcast. Today, we're diving into something super important for all of you amazing military spouses and women in military life out there. We're going to continue our conversation from episode 6, where we talked about how crucial it is for us to maintain a base level of strength in order to thrive in military life. And if you missed that episode, I would definitely encourage you to go back and listen to it after you finish this one. In fact, I'll try and remember to link it in the show notes for you to make it easy, but go back and listen to episode 6. We really talked about the importance of having a base level of strength so that we can make sure that we're handling everything we need to and preparing for whatever military life throws our way. But today, we're going to be covering the top 5 exercises that I feel all women in military life should be doing. And before we get into that, I want to be really clear with you. I am by no means saying that these are the only exercises that you should be doing, nor am I saying that exercises that are not on this list are by default, quote unquote, bad. On the contrary. As a general statement, I do feel like any type of exercise that gets people moving their bodies is amazing. Bonus points if it also helps to improve your strength. But I know that as women in military life, we're all super busy. We have a lot on our plates in any given week. So this list of exercises that I'm going to be giving you today is intended to kind of give you like a cheat sheet or a fast track of the exercises that have been proven to get you the most bang for your buck. So if you're ready and you're wanting a more complete or comprehensive list of exercises, then I highly encourage you to check out my PCS-Proof Fitness program, which I've linked in the show notes. My mission is to make women in military life feel comfortable and confident walking into any gym in the world and know exactly what to do and how to do it safely so that they can thrive in all aspects of military life. So let's talk about some of the benefits or outcomes that you can expect from incorporating strength training exercises like the 5 I'm going to share with you today into your weekly routine. The number one reason is that strength training is fantastic for burning calories and toning muscle, and 90% of the women that I talk to when they first come to me, their goal is to either lose some weight or to get that tone, athletic body that they've always been wanting or that they used to have. Compound exercises like squats and lunges use multiple muscle groups, boosting your metabolism and helping you shed pounds faster. And when I say faster, I really mean like faster than doing isolated muscle group movements like you might find on a traditional exercise machine in a big gym. Plus, they shape your body beautifully. So if you're looking to get that tone, athletic look, compound exercises and strength exercises are the way to go. And I know that most of us grew up being told that cardio was the best way to lose weight, but the overwhelming scientific evidence has disproved that theory. And now that we know that increasing muscle tissue is a much more efficient and sustainable strategy for weight loss, we know better, so we do better. So strength training, like the 5 exercises that I'm going to list today, is the best way to do that. Reason number 2 is that strength training improves our ability to handle everyday tasks with ease. Think about lifting groceries, playing with your kids, moving furniture, moving boxes. When you are strong, these tasks become much easier and less tiring and less injury prone. And I've mentioned to you before, these are the things that clients brag to me most about, to their friends and to their families. They're things like being able to lift their own luggage without any help, or being able to walk up the stairs without knee pain or back pain, and without getting winded. These outcomes are a direct result of the exercises that we perform in their strength training programs. Reason number 3 is that one of the best benefits of strength training is injury prevention. Building stronger muscles and around your joints enhances your stability and reduces your risk for injury. Exercises like planks and deadlifts are particularly good for strengthening your core and your back, which helps prevent common back injuries. And just based on our anatomy as biological females, we are more prone to things like knee pain and injury. And studies have shown that increasing our hamstring strength by doing movements like deadlifts can decrease your risk for knee injury dramatically.
Hey, fellow milspouse! Ever felt the frustration of being forced to restart your fitness routine every time military life throws you a curveball? Whether it's a PCS, a deployment, or a short-term assignment, disruptions can make progress feel nearly impossible. But now there's a solution designed just for you, the PCS-Proof Fitness Program from FitPath Coaching. Designed by a woman in military life, for women in military life. It's flexible, adaptable, and affordable. No more setbacks or starting over, just steady progress on your terms. Visit fitpathcoaching.com/PCS-proof-fitness to start your journey today. And as a special offer for our podcast listeners, get your first month free with promo code POD4FREE. That's POD, the number 4, FREE. Say goodbye to stress and frustration and hello to a stronger, healthier, happier you with PCS-Proof Fitness. Join us today and get ready to conquer any challenge military life sends your way. PCS-Proof Fitness, join today.
So now that you know what you can expect when you start incorporating these 5 essential exercises for women in military life, let's go through each one together. Let's start with squats. Squats work your glutes, your quads, your hamstrings, your core, and they burn a ton of calories and improve your joint stability and your functional movement, which makes everyday activities like lifting and bending much easier. Squats are one of those primal movements that we should all be able to do without pain or discomfort. And there are many variations of squats, so pick your poison. There's a standard squat where you have your feet kind of shoulder width apart, and you lower your hips toward the floor by bending your knees and pushing your knees outward a little bit. And this is kind of like a movement like sitting in a chair. So if you can imagine lowering your hips as if you're about to sit in your chair and then pushing your feet into the ground to come back to a standing position. And these can be done with weights. They can also be done without weights, which makes them great for us in military life. We can do a squat anywhere with no equipment at all or with minimal equipment. And for those of us who may be going through a pregnancy, it doesn't mean that we should stop exercising, right? In fact, when you're pregnant, this is an amazing time to continue your fitness journey because it will help you not only through your pregnancy, through your delivery, but also through your recovery postpartum. So an easy variation of a squat for those of you who are pregnant, either prenatal or postnatal, is to do a wall squat. And these are super simple. Just find a wall, any wall. You're going to have your feet about hip width apart, move them a little bit away from the wall so that you can slide your hips down the wall until your knees are at about a 90-degree angle. And then you're going to hold this for as long as you can, as long as you feel comfortable before pushing into the ground and coming back to a standing position. And you can do this for time, or you could do this for reps. That would be a great variation for you. Next up, deadlifts. Deadlifts are great because they engage your entire posterior chain from your back to your glutes and your hamstrings. And they're great for improving your core stability and your functional strength, making lifting safer and more efficient. And as I mentioned earlier, they've also been shown to be very useful for preventing knee pain and injury. Again, many variations of deadlifts. So again, pick your poison. You could do a standard deadlift with a barbell or with dumbbells or kettlebell. You can also do what's called a Romanian deadlift, or I simplify it by calling it a reverse deadlift. So instead of lifting something from the ground up, we start standing and we slide the weight down to about our mid shin and come back up. It's kind of like the top half of a deadlift. And for those of us who might be pregnant, a sumo deadlift is a great option. So you may see these are great if you're not pregnant as well, just a caveat. But a sumo deadlift is great because we can kind of push our feet out a little bit wider, have a little wider base of support. It's great. Make sure you have room for your growing belly. That would be a great option for you and, fairly safe without a doctor telling you that you shouldn't be doing this for any particular specific reason, a sumo deadlift is perfectly safe for you to be doing. Push-ups are a fantastic upper body strength exercise. They target your chest, your shoulders, your triceps, your core, and when done properly, they can really help also with your quads, your glutes, everything all the way down to your toes. Push-ups also enhance your posture, your shoulder stability, and they reduce your risk for upper body injuries. So there are, again, many variations of push-ups. There's a standard push-up, which is done from your feet, from your toes on the ground and on the floor. And we want to lower ourselves leading with our chest, not leading with our head, all the way down to the floor, and then push back up to the starting position. And if you're not quite ready to do a standard push-up from the floor, an incline push-up is a very, very effective option. In fact, I highly recommend getting very comfortable doing the incline push-up. These can be performed at any elevation. They can be done from a countertop, from a bench, from a step, from a sturdy chair. And I will say there's nothing wrong with doing kneeling push-ups. Nothing wrong with doing them from your knees. If that's your option versus not doing push-ups at all, then do them from your knees. But I would encourage you to consider just increasing the elevated position so that you can do the push-up from your toes. And the reason why is because there's a lot of benefit to using your entire body, including your legs, for a push-up movement. There's a connection all the way from your toes to your fingertips. And if we can engage the whole body, you're just going to get more benefit, more bang for your buck. And for those who are pregnant, an easy variation for a push-up that you can still continue to safely do is a wall push-up. So you can do this finding any blank wall and perform these by extending your arms out, scooting your feet back as far as you feel comfortable. And this is a great opportunity for us to think about kind of pulling our belly button in and up toward our spine to support your growing belly and whatever feels safe. And you may have kind of a band to help you support if you do need that. And then perform your push-up, leading with your chest towards the wall and then pushing the wall away from you back to the starting position. So that would be a great variation for you for pregnancy. Planks are essential for core stability. They strengthen your abdominals, your lower back, your shoulders. A strong core helps to maintain good posture. It helps improve your balance and it prevents lower back injuries. So I have so many women who come to me with, after having their babies, they have low back injuries. So we want to make sure that we're supporting the spine, making sure that all the muscles all the way around the core can help to support the spine. And the planks are a great way to do that. And while exercises like crunches focus primarily on the front portion of our core, the abdominal muscles, planks incorporate the 360-degree nature of our quote-unquote core. Not to mention that our core is one of the largest muscle groups in our body, and it provides a great opportunity to build muscle and increase fat loss. So there are a long list of variations for planks. You could do a standard plank where your elbows are directly underneath your shoulders, pushing off of the ground onto your toes, and then hold this position for your desired duration. You could also perform these as side planks, so you're getting your obliques and the sides of your core. That would be a great option. Just make sure you switch sides. And then if you are going through a pregnancy and you don't have any restrictions from your physician, a tabletop plank is a great option. Wonderful time to think about pulling your belly button again in toward your spine and up. You may want to have a little bit of support if you're further along in your pregnancy, but a tabletop plank is a wonderful variation for you. So you want to start on your hands and your knees in a quadruped position. Wrists, make sure that they're directly below your shoulders, and then make sure that your knees are directly below your hips. So you have that nice straight tabletop position on your back. Pull that spine, pull that belly button in and up. And then once you've done that, you're going to extend one leg back toward the wall behind you. And you can also progress this by simultaneously reaching your opposite arm forward. So opposite leg, opposite hand, reaching as far away from each other as possible, creating this tension and a straight line from your fingertips to your heel. and then hold that for a desired period of time, bring it back to the starting position, and you can either repeat 4 reps or switch sides, alternating sides. That would be a great variation for you for a plank. And last but not least, lunges. Lunges work your glutes, they work your quads, they work your hamstrings and your core, and they also help improve your balance and your coordination. Lunges help enhance our functional strength, our joint stability, and they make daily tasks like walking up the stairs easier. Lunges are definitely one of those love-hate exercises for most of my clients. They tend to say that they hate them because they burn. They give that muscle burning feeling pretty quickly. But they also say that they love them because they tend to see fast improvements in the matter of a few weeks, which is really motivating and confidence boosting. So you might feel the same way. You might have kind of this love-hate feeling towards lunges. Again, many variations. Pick your poison. There are forward lunges where you step forward with one leg and then drop your back knee down straight toward the floor, kind of like, I always say, like an elevator. We want to drop vertically straight down versus thinking about kind of like leaning forward and scooting our weight or center of gravity forward onto that front leg. We want to be fairly even, so I always cue drop that back knee down and lower like an elevator, and then push back up to the starting position. Or a reverse lunge. This is a great option if you feel kind of unstable with the forward lunge. So with this variation, you're stepping backward with one leg and again, lowering the back knee down like an elevator towards the ground and then pushing back up to the starting position. And a variation if you're pregnant is to do a side lunge versus a forward or a reverse lunge. We want to stand about hip width apart, both toes facing forward, and then take a big wide step out to one side with one leg, shifting our weight over and bending our knee so that we're able to kind of lower down as far as you feel comfortable before returning to the starting position. And you can repeat all reps on one side or alternate one side to the other side. Incorporating these 5 exercises into your routine will help you not only lose weight, tone up, and prevent injuries. But these are just the beginning. This is a great way to start, and then we can continue to build on that when these start to feel comfortable. But I want to give you some easy steps for getting started today. So if this is something that you're wanting to get started on, I want you to think about starting small. Start with body weight exercises only. So all the 5 options that I gave you can be done body weight only, and we can always progress them later on. So start with body weight only. You don't need any equipment. You could go and do this right now. As soon as you finish this episode, go into your living room and do all 5 of these. Meet yourself where you're at and then build slowly and consistently. This has been shown to be way more effective long-term than trying to be super high intensity right off the bat and then being so sore that you can't work out again for another week. So start small and build up slowly and consistently. Consistency really is the key to this. So I want you to aim to include these exercises in your routine 2 to 3 times a week for the best results. You can gradually increase the intensity by adding reps, adding sets, or incorporating or increasing weights. But start small, try and do it 2 to 3 times a week, and then we can gradually build as the consistency builds. And then consider working with a fitness coach or a trainer to ensure proper form and maybe to create that personalized workout plan for you, especially if you're wanting to get started but you've never strength trained, or even after our conversation here today, you're still just feeling a little nervous or worried that you might get hurt. I would encourage you to reach out to an experienced professional to help you overcome that worry and that nervousness and help you to feel confident in doing all of these movements. And again, remember that fitness is a lifelong journey. It's not a race. So stay dedicated, stay consistent, meet yourself where you're at, and then you're going to see amazing results. I truly believe in your ability to tackle this so that you can build that base level of strength that we need to thrive in military life. You can absolutely do this. Thank you again for joining me for another episode of the PCS-Proof Podcast. Was this helpful for you? I really hope so. You can interact with me directly by messaging me on Instagram at GraceBFitness or at PCS-Proof Podcast. Let me know if this was helpful. Were there any exercises in my list of 5 that surprised you? Were there any that you really feel strongly that I missed? Let me know. And maybe just listening to this podcast episode brought up some questions that you have about strength training, about weight loss, or about injury prevention. You can leave all of your burning questions for me directly through Spotify. So just click the link in the show notes if you're listening on another platform than Spotify. But you can leave your question right on this episode, and let's keep this conversation going. Thank you, as always, for helping me spread the word. I really appreciate you guys sharing this podcast with women in your life and for leaving me 5-star reviews on this podcast. It really helps to spread the word to more women in military life who really need to hear this content. And if you have stories about how you've PCS-proofed any part of your fitness or your health or your career, I really want to hear your story, and I'd love to share it with the rest of our audience. So please head over to our website, which is fitpathcoaching.com/PCS-proof-podcast, and click the link at the very bottom of the page to submit an application to join us as a guest on a future episode. I really want to hear from you, and I want to share your story. With that being said, have an amazing week ahead. I hope that you remember that no matter where in military life sends you, together we are PCS proof. Adios.
And here is the legal language. This podcast is for informational purposes only and is not intended to replace professional advice. The views expressed in this podcast may not be those of the host or fitpathcoaching.com. Moreover, we are not responsible for any losses, damages, or liabilities that may arise from the use of this podcast.